Daryl's great. I mean, he's friendly, he's outgoing, he's funny, he's easy to talk to, but he's also very honest and open and willing to tell you the truth, even when the truth is not maybe what you want to hear or not the easiest thing for you to hear. So he's just one of those persons that when you see him, you know that he's going to be upfront and he's going to be real. I think that's what Daryl really is. He's real, he's authentic, and that makes him special.
I think Dr. Hill deserves this award because he's so concerned about children in general, especially the children of New Waverly. He works hard, he is on top of things, he knows what to expect, make sure all of the administrators know this, and he's visible with the kids. The community loves him, the students love him, and even the administrators love working with him. He's very knowledgeable in his field. If you have a question, go to Dr. Hill. And if he doesn't have the answer, he will get the answer for you.
Dr. Hill, I mean, he comes to schools a lot and he tries to help out the kids. I mean, he's not one of the superintendents that just sit back and just enjoy his job, but he goes out and he helps the kids. He wants better for the school, and he pushes for the best of us and not little stuff. He tries to make us better.
I've been in New Waverly ISD this is my 10th year, and I spent several years as the intermediate school principal, and then had a chance to move up and become assistant superintendent here, and now I'm starting the third year as a superintendent here in New Waverly, and really just love New Waverly. A lot of really great people, teachers and kids, and I think that the small school experience is one that I never craved at the beginning of my career. I was always around very large schools, coaching and teaching in 5A schools, and even my first administrative job was, an intermediate assistant principal. And we had, 600 fifth graders and 600 sixth graders, so it was, larger. And then I started with an opportunity in smaller schools, and there's just some really neat opportunities you get. You learn a lot because you have to learn a lot. You don't have, a lot of support staff in terms of, directors of this, that, and the other. Chances are you are the director of, this, that, and the other. And so you learn a lot about the education world.
He was a really good principal. He was fun. He was good around all the kids. He was just a really outgoing guy. He'd be really playful with us, in a sense that he was not just a teacher or a principal, but somebody that we could talk to if we wanted to.
He always wants to go the extra mile and do whatever's needed to make the best educational decisions, whether it's teaching his classes, and we're an educational leadership program, so he's teaching classes to help prepare future leaders, those people that are going to be principals and assistant principals and really impact students from the leadership perspective. And he's always willing to go above and beyond, to do more.
I've really enjoyed teaching the adjunct classes for Sam Houston, and I feel like I get a lot out of it on many levels. It kind of helps me stay, I don't know if current, because there's so many things that happen, but current in terms of ideas that are happening and shaping the post-public school world. And at the same time, it helps me kind of share things that I've gone through with people who are, looking at this same career now.
Dr. Hill would deserve this award because he's really a good person to look up to. We all look up to him. When he became superintendent, it was a really hard time for our district. We had a lot of things going on, and he did a really good job with that. He handled it professionally. And so a lot of people were very impressed with the way that he, handles business, and that he does a good job with our district. And he's a really good guy. I like him too.
To be a distinguished educator or in any way form recognized, it's just one of those things it's gratifying and humbling at the same time. So it's neat, and even kind of, I don't know really what to think. How did I win? That kind of stuff too.
Congratulations, Dr. Hill. You really deserve this, and you're a good superintendent, and we enjoy you at this school.
congratulations, Daryl. I am thrilled for you. I'm very excited for you, and I think you're very deserving. So congratulations, not just from me, but from all of us in educational leadership and counseling.
Mr. Graham, to me, is the heart of every teacher that I have probably ever encountered. He cares genuinely for our students, and he knows that it is not just an education that they are receiving out of a textbook. It is an education that will make that young person a viable person in the community, that gives back to the community.
I came into this class being really shy and not really knowing what was going on, and he got me and told me I was going to be a public speaker, and I ended up going to state in public speaking, and he was there the whole way, and he really pushed me because it wasn't something I wanted to do at all at first. And so I think what makes him really special is just how much attention he focuses on everybody, and you're never just a student, you're always someone really close to him, and he'll always take care of you.
He's like a second dad because he cares about us like a dad would. He has more love than I've seen any other teacher have. He puts forth more effort than I've ever seen and asks for nothing in return. It's really nice, and he'll take time out of his day to help you do something or learn something. Whatever you need, he'll help you do it.
What I've been doing is I've been studying for quiz team, and he is very serious about quiz team. We actually went to a national contest in Kentucky, and we won first place. Atlanta Watson got first place, I got fourth, and my teammate Victoria, she got sixth place. And it was a lot of fun there. He's just inspired us to do our best and work very hard.
In FFA, I tell them all the time, it really doesn't matter how fast you are, or how high you can jump, or how far you can throw a ball. You're competing against you. If you really want to do this, it's more of a mental thing, you know. And sometimes you're your own biggest competitor. If you can get by that block that says, you know, it's okay that I'm from a small school, I can still compete on this level.
Many of our kids want to get into Mr. Graham's program. And he's been very proactive at the beginning of the year, selecting students. And Atlanta Watson's a perfect example. I know he had her when she was very young, freshman, sophomore, when she started out, and now she's on the national championship senior quiz team.
I've been with Mr. Graham for 4 years, and it all started freshman year. He kind of took me under his wing. I didn't really have a lot not going for me, but I didn't really have any plans or goals or dreams, and he kind of told me that I could do that, and he believed in me, and I know that he really cares a lot about me.
Motivating some of these kids is really pretty easy. Some of the others it's not quite so easy. A lot of it depends on their interest, but that's one thing I like about FFA is our program is so diverse. You're going to find something that each one of these kids enjoys. You know, I may see 75 kids a day, and they may have 75 different likes and interests. But through our program, there's going to be something that they like to do.
This is an honor for me to nominate Mr. Graham for this award. In 1990, I was on Mr. Graham's forestry judging team, and we had a competition at Sam Houston State University. And the first college campus I ever got to step foot on was Sam Houston State University. And the first person to make that opportunity happen for me was Mr. Graham. And I remember those times, and it was special to me. And I'm proud to be at this process, part of this process, and I appreciate all he's done for me.
Well, you know, one thing this award means a great deal to me because Sam Houston means a great deal to me. I graduated from Sam Houston with a bachelor's and a master's degree, and I made a lot of great friends at Sam Houston, and the experience I had there was so good that I wanted my kiddos to go to school there. My son graduated from Sam with an Ag Ed degree, and he's teaching ag on Alaska now. My daughter graduated with a degree in elementary education, and she's teaching here in Huntsville. And my daughter-in-law graduated from Sam Houston, and she's an ag teacher in Livingston. So education has been in my family for a while, and hopefully it's going to continue. And I've got some students that are students at Sam Houston now. Some have graduated in the past, some are on their way. Sam means a great deal, and this award means a great deal.
I want to go to Sam Houston mainly because of Mr. Graham. That's where he went, and he's kind of is the one who made me want to be an ag teacher and want to go to Sam Houston and try to be as good as he is.
Miss Hendricks is just a wonderful person all around. She's really good for the kids. She is the type that she knows every student and what they're going to do with their lives. She can, when we were doing transcripts at the end of the year last year, like every kid we came to, she was like, oh, they're going to this college, they're doing this, he's going to be a welder, you know. She just knew them all, and it was very surprising that you could remember 100 kids and exactly what their goals are going to be.
I think she's really helpful, and I think she actually enjoys her job. I've gone in there about 50 times because I am planning college and I had no idea where I wanted to go. So I was like, I'll go here, and she was like, okay. And then I was like, no, never mind, I want to go here. And she helped me, and she wasn't like, oh, make up your mind. She was, helpful every step of the way.
She has helped me out by helping me decide what I wanted to do. I've had a lot of different choices I could make, and finding out exactly what I wanted to do was very hard, and she helped me a lot with it.
I just treat all the kids like they are my kids. Like I run behind them and I yap at them, and that's how I treat them. I had one who got into a little bit of trouble over the weekend, over the holidays, and he came back to school today, and I hugged him and then I got on to him, so I just treat them like they're my kids. That's the relationship that I have with them, and it doesn't matter who they are, where they come from, it doesn't matter to me. And they're all special in their own way.
She really helped out me a lot last year because as a sophomore, I was pregnant. And now I have a 7-month-old son. And Miss Hendricks, she's helping me get all my scholarships and helping me get ready for school next year. And she helped me into our CNA program. She just kept writing me little notes when I was out because I couldn't come to school after I had the baby. She was writing me these little notes and sending them with me to my homebound teacher, and I would read them and they would just make me so happy. And she did that. She would pep up my spirit. She really, honestly, I made it through last year with Miss Hendricks' help.
I love my job when I make a difference, and I know that I make a difference when I have kids who come back and say thank you, and that's what I try to do. I try to be there for kids, and when I have someone who comes in crying and they leave out smiling, that makes me feel good, and that's why I love my job, because I like to help these kids, and it's all about them. And you have to work with everybody, the parents, to the cafeteria workers, to the janitorial staff. Everybody is a team that's making these kids a new life and letting them see that there's something outside of the small communities that they live in. Some of these kids don't think that there's any hope. And so just shining that light for them and showing them there is a way, you can make it. Even if you have to pay installment payments to get through school, you can do it, because a lot of times there are just little things like that they don't know, and that their parents don't know. And so that's why I like it, just making a difference and helping them be successful.
I believe she is deserving of this Distinguished Educator Award because she really is so much more than any other counselor I've ever met. She goes above and beyond. She does tutoring for kids who are struggling. She's volunteered to tutor our own children if they're struggling. She really does go above and beyond in everything she does.
She's been a great person on the leadership team as far as a lot of ideas, being able to implement systems and talking about ways of how we're going to impact kids and because the real reason we're here is for student learning, and anything that we can do to improve that, enhance that, accelerate that, she has been at the forefront and with ideas and support.
Congratulations, Ms. Hendricks.
Congratulations, Ms. Hendricks. I think you really deserve this. You truly are a distinguished educator.
I could go on forever and ever about the accolades and the wonderfulness of this individual, but congratulations for being named Educator of the Year.
You know, I just can't think of a better friend of education than Eleanor Garrett. When I drive up to this building or drive by it and I see her name on this building, and that, of course, of her husband also, Charles and Eleanor Garrett Teacher Education Center, it just warms my heart because I am reminded of her love for and enthusiasm for teaching and teachers.
The Garretts have been very generous to the College of Education in that we have the building named for them, but we also have an endowed chair that will be soon filled in honor of the Garretts. We have awarded scholarships over the years in the name of the Garretts.
It really means a lot to our department that we're going to be able to have the Garrett Endowed Chair for Special Education. This is going to be a person who is a big name in the field of special education, someone who's nationally recognized, and so this will bring a lot to our program. And not only will our students get to benefit from studying with someone of this caliber, but we will also have research opportunities for the students and the faculty, and we'll have publication opportunities that come from that. So this is just really an honor for us, and it's very exciting to have the Garrett Endowed Chair for Special Education, just as it's exciting each year to be able to have students who benefit from the Garrett Scholarship.
Well, you know, distinguished means someone who deserves honor, and she deserves it. You know, she deserves it from many aspects. Of course, she was a wonderful teacher herself, and then was a wonderful and astute businesswoman who really grew a great company. And now, on top of that, she's willing to give back to our university. You know, and I believe she attributes a lot of her success to what happened to her at Sam Houston State and the mental development that occurs in a good student. And she's pleased with that, proud of her Sam Houston State degree, and willing to give back in a major way. And so, you know, what she has done, I used to try to emphasize this when I would talk to alums and people who were interested in making a donation. You know, that's going to last forever. You know, she's going to the funds that we have will enable us to do things we couldn't do otherwise. It's going to enable us to attract students and do maybe a better job of educating them, and then that's just going to pass on and on and on and on. So, so what she has done for Sam Houston State will live for as long as this university lives, and we think that's perpetuity. So, so she, you know, she's very special, very distinguished, and very deserving of that title.
When I heard that I had earned this award, my thoughts was, why me? And I do appreciate everybody, Dr. Gattner and all the people who were on the committee for selecting me. I'm just so surprised that they would consider me, because I feel like I'm just a grain of sand with all the other good people from Sam Houston.
Thanks to the generosity of Mrs. Garrett and her husband Charles, many of our students have been able to complete their educations. We've been able to award, in the Garrett's name, scholarships at the undergraduate level, at the master's level, and at the doctoral level as well. And all of those students have expressed their great appreciation for being recipients of these wonderful scholarships.
One major topic that my parents always impressed upon me is to get a great education.
And they've always been proponents of an excellent education. They both are degreed. They both have their honorary degrees. And they both encouraged me to study throughout the years. So, I followed their lead. I went to the University of North Texas and I got a Bachelor of Arts in Radio, Television, Film, Communications. And I apply that to my life every single day, to Garrett metal detectors and to my music. So I really appreciate their level of education and their encouragement to others to get, a higher level of education.
Throughout the years, as Garrett Electronics has become more and more successful, Charles and Eleanor have never left their roots. They started as very friendly, courteous, considerate people. As they built their business, they worked with their employees, they encouraged their employees to grow. They gave them great opportunities, and even today, now that Garrett Electronics is an internationally known company, they still are Mr. and Mrs. Garrett just as they were 50 years ago.
Just a quick story about her intellect. When we were talking with her about this nice donation that I've mentioned before, we invited her to campus, she and Charles, and she wanted to see her old dorm. It was Elliott Hall, which is, of course, still a prominent dorm right at the center of campus. But we walked into Elliott Hall. She walked up the stairs. She walked directly to her room in Elliott Hall. She walked in there. There had been some remodeling, and she recognized the remodeling, how some things were different, some things were the same. But she went to that room, and so it's a pretty keen lady who remembers those kinds of things. She's talked with me several times about her daddy doing mental exercises with her over the years, and I just can't help but believe her daddy would be awfully proud of her now, her willingness to give back to this wonderful university.
When my daddy was working on his master's, I was 12 and 14, and I rode with him to Sam Houston most every day in the summertime. And we carried lunch, and some days we'd get a hamburger or something before we drove back home. But at Sam Houston, I decided I liked the columns at Elliott Hall, and I'd say, that's where I'm going to stay when I come over here to college, and that's where I stayed. So I was a Sam Houston kid back then. The people at Sam Houston have always been so nice and grateful and kind, and Sam Houston, no one can hold a candle to Sam Houston. It's from the old school.